early because of the rapidly unfolding news about former President Donald Trump being indicted in not one, but two states. Yeah. The news at first was just about uh, New York, but not anymore. Not anymore. No, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. According to the Drudge Report, which is great at picking up news of the zeitgeist, you've got Trump indictment, call for protests will be muted, gets muted reaction. NYPD, Secret Service. But the big news is that, and this headline came up elsewhere, the Georgia law enforcement system is ready to lay down an indictment against Trump. So you have Georgia and New York. And Drudge Report, this is what they put out here. Look at this. It says, mugshot ready. Look at this. Mugshot ready. Grand jury hears from last witness. Okay. Mugshot ready. Grand jury hears from last witness. Is that the mugshot? So, what do I think about all this? It is a sad point, though not an end point, in this entire matter of foreign influence in our elections. Because it's time to admit that Russian influence helping Donald Trump get elected in 2016 is what put him in office. And that's unprecedented. It's also time to admit that we really haven't done much about it. Sure, we've put attention to it, but we really didn't effectively stop it, because now you have one party of two, at least, if not some people in the Democratic Party who are also operatives, getting money to help the Russians fulfill an election objective. All right? And that started in 2016. It was most notable in efforts to manipulate social media messages. It was also documented in alleged attempts to fix the vote. And now that has become a sad part of our reality. The idea that we can't trust a voting system. And that sad reality has seeped all the way down to Alameda County in Oakland, where we just had an election where the current mayor won just by 677 votes, after the county used a system that by its own admission was hinky. Okay? By its own admission. And they did nothing about it. And then the county supervisor said, yeah, we should have a recount, but then they never did it. And then they fooled around and waited and said, well, we're past the deadlines. So we're in an era of massive corruption, folks. And the trouble is that it's so constant and so in our face, really, it just is in our face, that the electorate seems just almost beaten down to accept it. And that's it. That's the saddest statement of all, that this is not a cause for alarm or a cause for giant concern. And the people that rioted, they rioted because when you look down and deep inside it, they rioted because they were paid to do so. They didn't riot out of any 1,000,000% pure belief that their side got robbed. Sure, they believed Donald Trump when Donald Trump told them, but there was also money behind that, saying, hey, look, I'll pay for transportation for you, for some people. Or I'll pay for this or that. I'll set up the stage. I'll put in all this money. To a tune, I think, of what, 1.6 million or something like that, from various right-wing donors. What good, let me ask you a question. What good has this done our country? Has it given us more jobs at home as opposed to our leakage overseas? Nope. Has it given us a substantial rise in wage rates to counter the losses over the past 30 years? Nope. Has it improved the labor force participation rate significantly to where it's at 70% rather than closer to 50%? Nope. Has it reduced violence? Nope. Did we get increased diversity? Yeah, but not because of that. What we got is basically assurance that, hey, the next time there's an uprising or some type of fix, the people doing the fixing are more than likely going to be a diverse lot. That's about it. That's what we got. Okay? What we got other than that, you tell me. I'm waiting for somebody to say, okay, this is what we got, and here's why. This is what we enjoyed. And I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that. It marks a dark chapter in our lives because we have people who now have grown up in a society where they don't know that they can count on their own vote. We have people who've grown up in a society where the talk is left and right. You either have to be left wing or right wing, right? Think about it, okay? Think about it. You have to be left wing or right wing. We have people who bought into the idea that you can just say something. You know, there's this new term, it's called speak it into existence. Or if you just keep saying this is going to happen, saying this is real, eventually it will become real. When in point of fact, it's not. That's the society we built for ourselves. We built for ourselves, I call it the fake economy, the fake society. It's a very sad statement on our collective desires for a better place, for a better future, for a better United States of America. Do we really want a better United States of America, or are we just too busy trying to make ends meet that we haven't really given thought to it? Of course, if you ask someone on the street today, the answer would be of course, if you ask them. But is it something they're working toward? No. All right. I mean, what could they do to begin with? You have a real crisis in this country, and you have this idea that there's money around that somebody else has, just not you and me. And yet the people that we think have the money are increasingly closing their businesses or downsizing them too. ESPN is set to lay off, 7,000 people. Paper Lee, a legendary internet platform, will close on the 20th of April. This is not serving us well. None of this is serving us well. So I could ask the question, why do we let it go on? But maybe if you take it from the perspective of what the Lord Jesus Christ is trying to do, is you have to think about the fact that there is the devil. Okay? And that it's good and evil. And what we're seeing played out, by and large, is a battle of good and evil. We have people who don't believe in God anymore. We have declining numbers of people who call themselves Christian. I'm Christian. That's the most frightening part of all. Because you would ask, well, if they don't believe that they're Christian, or they don't believe in God, what do they believe in? They believe in themselves. Horrors. Okay? In other words, there's no higher entity other than themselves. And everything's an accident, which is pretty convenient if you want to make space to heighten your level of importance, isn't it? Not a good situation, folks. It's not a good situation. And I don't know what it's going to lead to, but I know we have authoritarian regimes that believe that we're vulnerable. And the reason they believe we're vulnerable is tied to, and I'm not saying that they read my thesis, but it does track along a thesis I wrote at Cal Berkeley in 1987 called A Theory of Decline, the American Institution, the World Economy. And I should make a vlog about it. But it went like this, very simple. United States and United Kingdom are the only two industrial nations that are multi-ethnic. All other nations, think about them, are largely mono-ethnic. We refer to Italy, the Italians, Paris and the French, Switzerland, Ireland, Norway. Canada is much smaller, but its diversity is questionable. It is diverse in areas, but overall, when you look around the world, we are dominated by mono-ethnic nations. Mono-ethnic. And in the middle sits the most powerful nation among the United States. And after decades and decades of trying, we have a mono-ethnic nation, Russia, that has cracked the code regarding how to topple us, thanks to digital media and digital voting. Digital. They didn't have to worry about nuclear war, right? Mutually assured destruction, thing of the past. Person could sit in bed with their pajamas on and take down a government. Gotcha. Let's aim for the United States, okay? That's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. That's why I say to everybody, make absolutely certain, whatever you do, that you understand that we're in a digital world that impacts you, that you have to watch your identity online. If you believe that it is stolen, you call the police. You change your cards, because there's always somebody watching you for reasons that are nefarious. Maybe they're like 15 years old and they're bored. I'm serious. The person who you think is the perpetrator of these things doesn't always look the way that you think they look. All right? Donald Trump tapped into all of this for his own personal gain. I repeat, Donald Trump tapped into all of this for his own personal gain. He wanted to be president because others overseas in Russia wanted him to be president because they wanted a payoff for the billions of dollars they gave him to revive his company. He made the greatest deal in his series of arts of the deal, as he calls it. And now it's going to land him in jail. So what is it worth to have the whole world and really realize you didn't have it at all? Big question, okay? I'm disappointed because I'll be candid. I really admired Donald Trump. The Donald Trump that I saw on The Apprentice. I tried to be on The Apprentice. Tried to get on The Apprentice. Yep, sure did. I would always go to Trump Tower to see if I could get a sighting of Mr. Trump or meet him and maybe get him to invest in something I was doing or something like that. Just meet the celebrity, right? Hey, fun stuff. That's the way that I roll. Most people do. Big deal. So I wasn't prepared for Donald Trump 2.0, the one that got energized by Russian money. The depth to which Russian monetary tentacles have found their way into the United States has not been fully understood. I don't understand it. I haven't seen this one chart that chronicles everything. Have you? I haven't seen it. If it's not just Russian money, then it's Chinese or another country. There's nothing wrong with foreign investment, but there is something wrong when that foreign investment leads to manipulation of elections. Okay? That's the biggest problem of all. So Donald Trump is set to be indicted today in 2 states, Georgia and New York. Georgia and New York. And so, according to, let me go back to the Drudge Report on this, because it always updates. It refreshes itself like every 5 minutes or something like that, okay? Let's see here. We've got grand jury hears from next witness. What do we have here? Inside violent woke gang, Proud Boys, all the other stuff. Well, let's just go back to the Trump thing, stuff at Trump, okay? The mugshot is ready. Let me click on that. That's from The Hill. Michael Cohen saying Trump will absolutely take a mugshot and be fingerprinted if arrested. Well, that increases chances to becoming president again? I mean, the simple fact that there's that possibility is weird. But if he is in that place, can he actually run for president? This reads, former President Trump, Trump's longtime personal advisor, Michael Cohen, said on Sunday his former client will, quote, absolutely go through the formalities of being fingerprinted and photographed if he is arrested in connection to the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation into hush money payments before the 2016 election. You might call that the Stormy Daniels scandal, right? Quote, do I think that Donald will be fingerprinted, swabbed, mugshotted? Absolutely. Cohen said in an interview with Alex Wood on MSNBC. Quote, do I think he'll be handcuffed? No. And in fact, I don't want to see Donald Trump handcuffed, Michael Cohen said, and paraded through because I respect the institution of the presidency. And I agree with Michael Cohen. I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see that either. The time to have stopped Donald Trump wasn't after he became president. It was when he was running and people didn't take him seriously. It was when he was running and people didn't understand how his words were igniting people. And we had the wrong candidate. Hillary Clinton was not the right candidate for the Democratic Party. But there was this faction that just believed that she had to be our standard bearer. Warts and all. And we didn't want to believe that the Russians were interfering with any aspect of communications, especially not digital. How do I know that? Because I specifically told the CEO of the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia that we were being attacked by Russian-influenced content. They thought I was crazy. I put that out in 2016, folks. They thought I was nuts. Didn't listen to me. Who's nuts now? internet has provided this other realm of being in control. I don't mean like a metaverse or anything like that. Okay. Now, did Donald Trump do anything good? Yeah, I'll tell you what he did good. He talked about having an American standard, America being out in front, America being first, America being better, America having a system that when you needed the money for a pandemic, it flowed to you. I don't care what anyone says. Donald Trump did a better job of getting money to people during the pandemic than Joe Biden did. Okay? Joe Biden let the whole specter and the whole talk of fraud stop flow. He bought the trick. The trick was, hey, we know the Democrats are going to be in power, said the Republicans. So we'll start talking about fraud so that, guess what? They're not putting out as much money. And so guess what will happen? They'll lose the midterms. And to a degree, that's precisely what happened. Donald Trump knew what he was doing when he wanted those checks that went out signed in his personal signature. Remember that? He knows at the end of the day, it's about money and keeping people solvent. And it's something that Democrats, my party, has suddenly forgotten. We're the ones that brag about cutting the deficit. That used to be the Republicans. We were the ones that were known for deficit spending. But we let ourselves get tricked by Republican Fed Chair Paul Volcker changing our targets for monetary control from interest rate to money supply, thereby throwing a choke chain around the economy by jacking up interest rates and plunging us into recession, thereby putting Ronald Reagan and not Jimmy Carter in office. Would have been Jimmy Carter's second term. Nope, instead we got Reagan. That's how it happened. So if you're saying, well, hey, Zennie, don't we have a Fed chair that's a Republican too and with the Democrat in charge? I would say, yeah, now you're catching on, huh? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's not the greatest situation, folks. We need to wake up and ask ourselves, what the heck are we doing? Subscribe to Zennie62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com and Zennie62blog.com. And when you go there, by the way, go there by Friday. We'll see ya.